I guess social media or private investigators. Apparently, this is Chidinma and her father in Nigeria. This photo was taken in Nigeria when she was still young. Allegedly, she was not born in South Africa. She was born in Nigeria. Imagine.
Y'all, that Nigerian universe lady, she's a shitty person. Chidinma, yeah, she get disqualified from 2024 South Africa beauty pageant, and then Nigeria break all kinds of rules to let her come in and participate, and she ended up being Miss Nigerian Universe in 2024 after she wasn't able to participate in South Africa because she didn't have documentation to prove that she was a citizen because her mom is connected to some fraudulent identity theft out there. So how she pay back the Nigerians? 2026 comes along. 2 years later, now she's fighting to be in South Africa. Even though she received removal orders, she's fighting to be in South Africa. Even though Nigeria bent the rules, corrupted the rules for her to participate in their beauty pageant. You know, I'm not surprised because their government is corrupt from the top to the bottom. So now, it's interesting. It's interesting. You know why I tell you this? You have someone like Chidinma that's in Africa illegally, in South Africa illegally, fighting to stay there. Doesn't this debunk the whole scenario or narrative that they're trying to frame that those South Africans are beating up on foreign nationals? Because if it was really that dangerous, and if they were
Chidinma, but in South Africa, Chidinma get drama queen. Lava never drama follows you, bara Chidinma. La mopola ubile dramatic number one at anela Miss South Africa. No one sele South Africa. Reba to ba moncha ba moya pola bara SSC tlogela di position tšeo a mo South Africa. Anga alwa. I just ba need up until go nyakishishiwa vele true identity gore o ba Chidinma jwang o le South Africa. Ke go tlo kry-a gore a wa sesenyana ke mama ke Mozambique Ken and then papa ke mo Nigeria. And then o kry-ile jang pasa ya South Africa wena o le ngwana bona ra kry-a le gore ba dirile manyofonyofo ba utswitse di-identity tša bana ba bangwe. So ke ge mola ba re wa go deportiwa back to your father's land, which is Nigeria. Yeah, South Africa he le na le moya he ba mo tšea ba re bile a tla conteste mo ba mo winisha Miss South Africa, Miss Nigeria ba mo winisha ba mo fa yona ba ba mo dira le Miss Universe. Bana ba le ba modimo ba kry-ileng ba practice for mengwaga ba nyako ba Miss Nigeria, Miss Universe ba ba gapela ka go favoriwa Chidinma shile ya ba Chidinma a wana ra wa Chidinma o gae o happy ra lebega o go her father's land vele well deserved a nne gae ka Chidinma o buile South Africa sa batho ba modimena sa bo fela o buile ka ditsela tša magotlo o tseni South Africa through tsela tša magotlo ge a kreiwa ke re la tsa re se khukhuni se bona ke se batla light ba mo krea Kapstad ba re se si Kapstad wena o dia mo ka re tseba o le gae o le busy o ka di duties tša Miss Universe Nigeria ke a wa se senyana a rena Nigeria ke mo ke sa bueleng gona ke mo South Africa ne ke tlo challenge my legal stay ya gore ke be mo South Africa ke le ka mo South Africa le ne ya gona gana onyo he modimo was part to kitima di court or challenger se senyano gape o favorilwe amongst bana ba modimo ba lore they were hardworking ba lebeletse position ile ba bo Miss Nigeria go favoriwa yena. So ke danki ya ba fine yona ya o tla ena tlo rena o tlo dula South Africa a lwela go ba e South African of which e kgonege o tlo loser le this court case cause molao wa South Africa la ba go pola banana ba le ba babedi ba banyane ba la ba re bona South Africa is the only home they know ba tswetšimo and stuff mara both parents are non-South Africans ba a e kgonege ra le kwela mara le ya gae ke same case le Chidinma mos Chidinma gana sa go molaona or ba mo furile ka re batho ba ka re ba mo sponsorang ba mo furile molao wa South Africa if both parents are South Africans aba not even abana di legal documents taba Chidinma stand the chance South Africa a gae worst part no ka re kwa tishe Nigeria ya gae o ya gae motho o tsebotse go nore ano tengengela ko Mozambique ga bo mmage ka re ga bo papa ga gona ke bone ba tlo mo tshwarela le nna ke le sone nka se mo tshwarele motho re mo dirile motho a tla re leboge swa buele back to South Africa a wa ko nora no ngangangana le ma Mozambique na gabo a ke ba bo mmage le bona ke madi a maybe bona ba tla mo tšea mara ke le betray ngwana go diragala mara motho a ba tlogele di role tša gagwe ko gae tša go ba Miss Nigeria same as president ya bona Tinubu bar o rana America from France o live his best life kwa France mara ka ke president ya Nigeria o le yena o nyako rana Miss Nigeria a le ka South Africa go diragala ngwe batho ba sa nyako ya gae.
I hope that Chidinma Additional is going to lose this case because if she wins this case, her triumph will be a disgrace to the South African judiciary, I will be so disappointed in this country, because we cannot always, legalize illegalities. The other time, a Nigerian guy forged some documents and still went ahead and sued the Home Affairs. And this is what is going to be happening when every idiot goes to commit crime, breaks South African law, and still have the guts to take South African to court and still win the South African government. And that's the truth. You were born in Nigeria. Your father took you to South Africa, and then they stole someone's identity, they broke the law, they gave you, they bestowed that on you. And then you grew up only to realize that it was a stolen identity. Instead of you bowing out of that pageant and clearing your name, what did you do? You made it a do or die that yes, you must become Miss Universe. You went and took the offer from Nigeria to represent them. Now, they broke their own law because of their own criminality also, and then they push you through. You won, and then now you broke the law again by coming back to the same country and want to come and stay in the country. And as if that is not enough, you are taking them to court. I wish you don't win this case, so that this will serve as a lesson to other identity fraudsters. People that buys ID from Home Affairs, people that forge South African documents and all that. If they win this case, it will be a victory for them. Because tomorrow, more people that commit crime in this place will have the guts to still take the South African government to court. Criminals will just continue to take you guys to court and be winning you guys. So I wish she does not win this case. Let her go back to her father's country and legalize herself there. Let her go back to her father's country and become who she wished to become in that place. Let her get her father and her mother to tell her the truth about her true identity, where she was born. And that is what she needs right now. What she needs right now is not justice against South Africa. What she needs right now is to demand explanations from her parents. Let them tell her the truth about her true identity. Where was she born? And what is all this uncertainty around a place of birth?
So the question about whether a permanent resident permit holder must have a South African identity document. Remember, this is in terms of the Identifications Act, and it basically says currently, I know that there are proposed changes, but currently that any South African citizen or permanent resident that is 16 years and older must have an ID book. The law doesn't say that you have to apply within a certain period of getting your permanent residence permit. But of course, you want to do it as soon as possible, because if you're living in South Africa, it just makes living here and administration easier, because people want ID numbers, not necessarily permit numbers. So if you are a South African citizen or permanent resident and you are 16 or older, you should apply for a South African identity document. For citizens, the processing is a lot quicker, anywhere from a few weeks up to 3 months if it's a first-time ID application, although for matriculants, they generally process those a lot quicker, they prioritize it. For permanent residents, it can take a lot longer, especially if you're married, because then it usually, in my experience from what I've seen, it gets stuck at that marriages department. It can be anywhere from 6 months to 12 months, but you still need to apply. And if you're traveling, have the original permanent residence permit with you. Keep it safe. Remember, they only issue one permit. If you lose it, you have to apply for proof of permanent residence permit. So laminate your permanent residence permit. You are able to do that. Have your some officials will want to see at the port of entry. Some of them will want to see your permanent residence permit. Others are happy to see the ID book. Some want both. So just to avoid any hassles, travel with both the original permanent residence permit and the ID or the receipt proving that you applied for IDs. Also, in some cases, they allow the certified copies of the permanent residence permit, but that certified copy mustn't be older than 3 months at the time of your exit or entry into the country. Again, remember to check the bottom of your permanent residence permits. Make sure you've complied with the conditions. If you haven't, reach out, info@dsdlaw.co.za, or speak to your advisor if you are already being advised, and just get the proper advice in terms of what to do, because if you don't comply with your conditions, the permit will lapse. It's not automatic, even though it reads as though it will be, but when you approach Home Affairs for anything, let's say for an ID book or for whatever it is where they need to go into the system, if they see that you haven't complied with the conditions, they may withdraw or cancel the permanent residence permit.